Good morning, students. So, today we are going to study about chapter 18 Electronic Data Interchange. So, in this chapter, we are going to see about the basic knowledge on EDI, then the brief history of EDI, then various types of EDI, then advantages and layers of EDI, and then we are going to study about the EDI fact. Okay, so first is the introduction to EDI. EDI refers to electronic data interchange. So that means EDI is the exchange of business documents between one trade partner and another electronically. So from the heading itself, we can see electronic data interchange. So data means you can say any informations or any documents, like any bills that can be that we can say. So we are going to interchange this document using the electronic medium is called the EDI. It is used to transfer various documents like delivery notes, invoices, then purchase order, advance, ship notice, then functional acknowledgements, etc. So this is the way. If we have two system, that is buyer system and supplier system. From the buyer system we can able to send the purchase order to the supplier system, and from the supplier system it can able to interchange the invoice. So this purchase order and invoices are in the form of documents. So these documents are transferred directly from the computer of the issuing company to that of the receiving company with great time saving. So this EDI from one computer to another computer, we can able to send the documents, and this method will saves our time. So we can say like EDI is a paperless trade. So some examples of EDI are EDIFACT, XML, ANSI Ask Extol are some of the examples of EDI. So here this diagram explains about how the EDI will process. Here from the buyer it will generate he will generate the purchase order, and he will send it to like any faxes or mails, and it will get in the hands of the supplier. So he will develop the invoice, and again the same method through the fax or mail he will send the documents, and it will get in the buyer's hand. So history of EDI. With the popularity of computers, many companies and organizations use computers to store and they process the data. So some enterprises have agreed a specific standard format which can be regarded as the origin of the EDI application concept. So as the computer usage of computer becomes increases, many companies and organizations started using the method of EDI, that is electronic data interchange method. So, who is called the father of EDI? Ed Gilbert is called the father of EDI, and he was manifested shipping standardized format during the 1948 at the Berlin Airlift. So business began to realize that using EDI will smoothen the business transactions, and it will increasing the profit because it saves more time, and within the fraction of seconds we can able to send any orders to the customer or to the seller, or we can send the acknowledgement cards, or we can send the invoices at a fraction of seconds. So it smoothened the business process. So this standardizations made ordering and shipping faster, more organized, and less expensive. So these are the advantages of using EDI. It will make the shipping faster, and it made more organized way, and it was less expensive. So in 1968, these companies grouped together among themselves and formed the Transportation Data Coordinating Committee, that is TDCC, to develop the EDI standard format. So in 1975, first ED standards were released by TDCC. In 1977, a group of supermarket companies and their business partners began drafting and using an EDI project. So the TDCC is renamed as the Electronic Data Interchange Association, that is EDIA. Then again later in that year, the EDA was undertaken by the American National Standards Institution and it becomes the ANSI Committee. So later in 1985, UN created the EDIFACT to assist with the global reach of technology in e-commerce. So EDIFACT is the mostly used EDI. So we can say that EDIFACT was the most used EDI. So some of the types of EDI are, can classify this based on the medium. So we can say some of the EDI types like direct EDI, EDI via WAN, EDI via FTP slash VPN, and SFTP, FTPS, web EDI, and mobile EDI. So first one is the direct EDI, that is point to point EDI. So this direct EDI we can call like point to point EDI because it establishes a direct connection between various business stakeholders and the partners individually. So this type of EDI suits for largest business because it having the direct connection, no. So it was suits for largest business with a lot of day-to-day business transactions. For the day-to-day business transactions and for lot of business organizations, we can use this point-to-point EDI method. Next is EDI via WAN. So WAN refers to value added network. So here where EDI documents are transferred with the support of a third party network service provider. So value added network means here we are using the EDI, that means we are transport the documents with the support of the third party. So many business will prefer this network model to protect them from the updating ongoing complexity of network technology. So some companies will use this method because of the network problems and because of the issues in the networks. Many organization will use this WAN, that is value added network method. So this is the diagrammatic representation of EDI via WAN. So first the sending company, he will prepare a document which we have to be sent and it will be sent to the translator that will translate the documents into the EDI format. Again it was sent to the communication software where it will connect and transmit your documents to the business partner. Then here it was the connected to the EDI network provider and again from there it was connected point to point communications and from there it was again it gave the data through the EDI translator to the receiving company. So ED via FTP, VPN and SFTP, FTPS. So when protocols like FTP slash VPN, SFTP and FTPS are used for exchange of EDI based documents through the internet or intranet and it is called as EDI via FTP slash VPN or SFTP or FTPS. So here VPN means virtual private network, that is a network, private network, and SFTP means secure file transfer protocol. So all these are the networks which we can able to send the data very private manner or very securely manner. So next one is the web EDI. So web-based EDI doc conducts EDI using a web browser via the through the internet. Here the business are allowed to use any browser to transfer the data to their business partners. So here we can using the for exchanging or for sending the documents or files through the web browsers or any web browsers or through the internet. So this is the web-based EDI. Next is mobile EDI. So when smartphones or other such handheld devices are used to transfer EDI documents, it is called as mobile EDI. So here we are using any mobiles or any small devices for sending the documents to the others, from the seller or from the one seller to the other seller or other customer. We are using some mobile devices or any small devices for sending the documents. So this mobile will increase the speed of EDI transactions. So this is about the EDI. Some advantages of EDI are it will improve the services to end users, then it will increase productivity, it will minimize the error, then slashing of response times, it was so quick, then automation of operations, then it will reduce the cost, then integrating all business and trading partners, then providing informations on process status and optimizing financial ratios are some of the advantages of EDI. Then EDI layers. So electronic data interchange architecture, we can divide it into four layers. First one is the semantic layer, then standard translation layer, then sorry next one is about the transport layer, and next one is about the physical layer. So these are the four layers, and here in the semantic layer it comes application level services. Then the translation layer it comes to that is EDIFACT business form standards and ANSI external business form standards. Then EDI transport layer we can say like electronic mail, point to point and world wide web, all this will comes under the transport layer. Then physical it means it is like a dial-up line and internet, all those are the physical layers. Then we have four components of EDI. They are standard document format, translator and mapper, then communication software and communication network. So some standards of the EDI are the standard is the most critical part of the entire EDI, since EDI is the data transmission and information exchange in the form of an agreed message format. It is important to develop a unified EDI standards. So yes, we are sending some data or some informations, we are exchanging some informations, but it should be in the some standard format. So some of the standard formats are, first one is the basic standards, then code standard, message standard, document standard, management standard, application standard, and communication standards and security standards. So these are the EDA standards. So then above we are going to see about UN EDIFACT. UN means United Nations and EDIFACT means Electronic Data Interchange for Administration and Commerce and Transport. So it is an international EDA standard which will developed under the supervision of United Nations. So this is the symbol of UN EDIFACT. So in 1987, the UN EDIFACT syntax rules were approved as ISO 9735 standard by the International Organization for the Standardization. So it includes some set of internationally agreed standards, catalog, guidelines for the exchange of this data between the computer systems. So some directories or the versions of EDIFACT are also called as directories. So this EDIFACT directories will be revised in twice a year on 1st April and 1st October to include new or updated existing Edifact messages. So Edifact directories have names like D.18b. Here D stands for directory, 18 is the year, and A or B it will indicate the month of the release. So it will be updated every twice a year, that is at the 1st April and at 1st October. So we can name like D.18b. D means directory, 18 is the, it will represent the year, and A/B it will indicate the month of release. So, Edified subset, due to the complexity, branch-specific subsets of Edified have been developed. This subset of Edified include only the function relevant to specific user groups. Example, chemical industry, furniture industry, gas industries, or the examples of Edified structure. Then Edified structure is a hierarchical structure where top level is referred to as an interchange and lower level contain multiple messages. So what is meant by hierarchical structure? It is hierarchical represents the tree-like structure root to the that means if we can divide from top to bottom, and it was like a tree-like structure. It will be divided from top, then it will be divided again, and from that will be considered top again, it will be divided. So it is like a tree like structure. So here from the top level it will refer to the interchange, and the lower level it will refer to the messages, multiple messages. So this message will consist of segments, which in turn consist of composites. Then final interaction is the data element. Okay, so first it contain interchange, then multiple messages. So these messages may be any segments or any composites, and the final it may be the data element. So segment table lists the message tags. It contains the tags, tag name, requirements, designator, repetition field, and the requirement designator may be mandatory or it may be conditional. Mandatory means it should be, we have to specify that is the mandatory, and conditional means it is optional one. So M denotes the segment must appear at least once, and the C denotes that the segment may be used if needed. Okay, so M means it should be, we have to answer for the mandatory, which it should be appear at least once, it should be appeared, so it's compulsory one. And C means that segment if we need means we can use that segment. So example C10 indicates the repetition of a segment or group between 0 and 10. This is the segment table. Then EDI interchange. So interchange is also called as envelope. The top level of Edified structure is interchange, and interchange may contain multiple messages. So it will be starts with UNB and ends with UNZ. So interchange, we can call the interchange as envelope. So in the top, in the Edified structure, the top level we can say as interchange, and that interchange contain multiple messages. So this will start with UNB and ends with UNZ. So this is a sample EDI application. So these are the UN Edified message structure. First is the highest level, and here the highest level it have interchange. So interchange means it gives a piece of data between segments UNB and UNZ. Next is the functional group. Here the piece of data between segments UNG and UNE. After that it gives messages. So here the piece of data between segments UNH and UNT. Under the messages we have segment groups. Here the block of related data, and after the segment groups we have segments. The segments contain mixture of symbols and composite elements, and again the composite elements it contain group of related simple elements. Under the composite elements, we have simple data elements. That is, here we have piece of single data, and at last the lowest level. ADFAT message. So the basic standardization concept of ADFAT is there are uniform message types, and that is called as United Nation Standard Message. So in so-called subset, the message type can be specified deeper in their characteristics depending on the setup. So the basic standardization concept of ADFAT, the basic concept of ADFAT is there are we have the uniform message types, and that message type we can call like United Nations Standard Message, that is UNSM. Then the message format. The message type, all of which always have exactly one nickname consisting of 6 uppercase English alphabets. So the message format should be like it should have one nickname, and that nickname should consist of 6 uppercase. Uppercase means capital letters. That is the English alphabets. It should be in the uppercase. That means capitals. Then the message should begins with UNH and it should be ends with UNT. Okay, so then to confirm or reject message, we have to use control, and so CONTRL, that is control, and CONTRL means it syntax check and confirmation of arrival of message. So to confirm the message or to reject the message, we have to use the control. The next one is the APRAC, that is technical error message and acknowledgement. So for the technical error or any acknowledgement, we have to use the APRAC. So this is the message format. So first the message format, it should be the uppercase 6 uppercase letter or English alphabets. Then it should begins with UNH and it should be ends with UNT. And then to confirm and reject, we can use control CONTRL, and to type the error message or acknowledgement, we can use the APRAC or AK. Okay, then message format. So here the data exchange, so for the data to exchange, we can use the CREMUL, that is multiple credit advice. We can use CREMUL. Then to delivery forecast, we can use DELA4, that is the delivery forecast. Then for booking confirmations, we are using IFTMBC, that is for booking confirmations. Then some segments or elements in ADFAT. A segment is a 3-character alphanumeric code. So what is segment means? It is an 3-character alphanumeric code will refer the segments, and these segments are listed in segment tables. So segments may contain one or several related user data elements. So in the segments it contains elements, data elements, it will be present in the segments. So the elements are the piece of actual data, and these data elements may be either simple or composite. Okay, so a segment means it is a subset of message. That means a segment means it is a 3-character alphanumeric code, and this subset contain elements. So what is elements? Elements means it is a data pieces of data we can call as elements. So these elements may be either simple or it may be composite. So these are the ADFAT separators we are using here. Some of the punctuation marks like apostrophe, that is the segment terminator. Then plus sign will indicate it is used for segment tag and data element separator. Colon for component data element separator. Then question mark to release a character, and period, that means dot, it will refer the decimal point. So this is the example for coding format of the ADFAT. So this is about EDI, that is electronic data interchange. Thank you guys.